advice, like, he has to work the straight body shots, because that takes away the intentions of the takedown. If he works with the straight body shots, he's gonna stop his intentions of the takedowns.
And who do you think is going to win in the fight between Jack Della and Islam?
It's a good fight, but a tough fight. I go a little bit more on Islam.
Honestly, I really like JDM's counter-grappling against Bilal. I'm going to take him with the size advantage too.
Islam Makhachev is all set to make his debut at welterweight and fulfill his dream of becoming a two-division champion. However, Ilia Topuria, despite not being interested in this fight, warns that JDM can send Islam back to the lightweight. Meanwhile, Islam Makhachev said his training camp has begun and is progressing well. He recognized Jack Della Maddalena as a serious threat, noting that every UFC champion is dangerous. Makhachev emphasized that his full focus on the fight and expects to reach peak condition by mid-November for their welterweight title bout.
Хабиб анонсировал твой бой против Маддалены за титул в полусреднем весе. И расскажи, как проходит твоя подготовка и видишь ли ты опасность в нем?
Подготовка проходит хорошо, только начали. Как раз только говорил, что на сборах были 3 недели, приехали. Опасность, конечно, если человек чемпион на какой-то вес, особенно у нас в организации, там таких проходных не бывает. Так что подхожу с максимальной ответственностью к этому бою и думаю, буду к середине ноября в хорошей форме.
Ilia Topuria shared his thoughts on Islam versus Jack Della Maddalena, but admitted he isn't interested in the fight. He said Islam's performance at welterweight doesn't concern him and that the matchup isn't on his mind at all.
How do you think Islam Makhachev will do at 170 when he fights Jack Della Maddalena?
I don't know. I don't care, to be honest. I never thought about that, so I don't know.
Ilia Topuria offered advice to Jack Della Maddalena on facing Islam Makhachev, recommending he focus on straight body shots to disrupt Islam's takedown attempts. He explained that targeting the body could prevent Islam from initiating his wrestling. Topuria also praised Jack's striking and expressed admiration for his fighting style.
Have any advice for Jack, who might be coming up against Islam Makhachev next?
The advice, like, he has to work the straight body shots, because that takes away the intentions of the takedown. If he works with the straight body shots, he's gonna stop his intentions of the takedowns. And he's doing a great job at the striking. I like how he fights.
Meanwhile, Johnny Walker shared his thoughts on Islam Makhachev moving up to 170 to fight JDM for the title. He said Islam has been tough and technically skilled throughout his career and believes he still has what it takes. Walker noted that moving to a new division brings new challenges, including different opponents and power levels, but he feels Islam can perform well.
Islam, he's going to be moving up to 170 from 155 to fight JDM for that title. Who do you favor in that fight?
I think Islam. Yeah, he's been a really tough fight and incredible technique for the last all his career, no? And I believe he still can get it. But as I said, it's a new division, new body type, new power, everything. He's moving up. It's a big testing for him, but I believe he can do good too.
UFC welterweight Geoff Neal picked JDM to beat Islam Makhachev in their 170-pound matchup. He acknowledged Islam's strength at 155 but questioned how it would translate to the higher weight class. Neal emphasized that Jack's takedown defense and strength training will be key and expressed hope that Jack can hold on to the belt.
I don't know. We will see, because I've heard Islam's strong as shit. Like, especially like when he's fighting 155. People like always talk about how strong he is for the weight class, so we'll see how that translates to 170.
Yeah.
You know, I hope Jack's been working his takedown defense and in the weight room. You know what I mean? Don't embarrass us, dog. Don't let this 155er come up and take the belt, bro.
Who do you give the edge to in that fight?
Man, that's so hard. But I'm gonna give the edge to Jack, man. He needs to keep the belt at 170.
Earlier, Geoff Neal also encouraged Jack Della Maddalena to defend the welterweight title, warning that it would reflect poorly if Islam Makhachev moved up from lightweight and quickly took over. While recognizing Islam's dominance at 155, Neal questioned how his strength would hold up against bigger opponents at 170. He emphasized that Jack's takedown defense would be crucial and hoped he was fully prepared to handle the pressure.
Who do you think wins that fight?
I don't know. We will see, because I've heard Islam strong as shit. Like, especially like when he's fighting 155, people like always talk about how strong he is for the weight class. So we'll see how that translates to 170.
Yeah.
You know, I hope Jack's been working his takedown defense and in the weight room. You know what I mean? Don't embarrass us, dog. Don't let this 155er come up and take the belt, bro.
Who do you give the edge to in that fight?
Man, that's so hard. But I'm gonna give the edge to Jack, man. He needs to keep the belt at 170.
Curtis Blades admitted he hasn't seen enough of JDM's fights, only his last two, but still leans toward Islam Makhachev. He cited Islam's ability to handle challenges and his consistent high-level success as reasons for his preference.
I don't know. I haven't seen enough of JDM. I haven't seen enough of his fights. I've seen his last two, but I haven't seen enough. I'm still going to lean towards Islam just because I've seen him handle all issues, and he's had high levels of success in the past.
Meanwhile, Carlos Prates and Henry Cejudo discussed whether Islam Makhachev's style could trouble Jack Della Maddalena. Prates admitted that he initially thought Jack might struggle due to an injury and a long layoff, expecting a close, points-based fight, but was impressed by how much Jack had improved and reached a new level. Cejudo added that Islam is a completely different challenge, highlighting his top control and pressure, which he described as far beyond anything Jack has faced before.
I was thinking Jack Della Maddalena would lose. He got injury, and I was like almost 2 years without fight.
Yeah.
And then he come to different level, bro. He was like gonna be a board fight by points and things like that. But bro, what he did was really good work. He grew up a lot.
Yeah, but
he come a different level.
Yeah, but Islam is a different animal. And if there's one thing that I could say in that fight, Islam Makhachev, he gets on top of you.
Yeah.
He's a blanket, bro. Yeah. Top control that Islam has in comparison to Bilal is completely different.
UFC light heavyweight Diego Ferreira picked Islam Makhachev, praising his hunger and success in the lightweight division. He highlighted Islam's improved boxing and strong wrestling, noting that he has many tools to succeed in the fight, which led Ferreira to back him as the favorite.
Let's go Islam, I think Islam he's hungry, especially everything he did in the lightweight, and I think he's much better boxer too, and he's wrestling, cannot lie, I have so many things he can do in this fight, and I probably I gotta go with Islam.
UFC middleweight Eric Makhachev also said the matchup is interesting. He praised Jack's boxing, size, and takedown defense, but noted that Islam's wrestling makes the fight unpredictable. Makhachev didn't pick a clear winner, but expects it to be an exciting contest.
That's an interesting one because I like Jack's boxing, dude, and the way he look against Bilal and that takedown defense, and he's a big dude. I just want to see. I want to see how Islam's gonna do against him. But Islam is like Dagestani and wrestling, man, is going to be different. So I can't really choose that one, but I think it's gonna be a good one.
Similarly, featherweight champion Alexander Volkanovski expressed excitement about Jack Della Madalena's development, especially after his impressive win over Belal Muhammad. He suggested that this performance could set up Jack well for a potential fight with Islam Makhachev, highlighting his improved takedown defense and noting that a sharper version of Jack could pose a real challenge to top wrestlers.
Islam Makhachev is going to be fighting Jack Della Maddalena. How do you think those two match up?
I think Jack's fight against Bilal was a perfect fight for leading into that. Just purely, you take a lot out of stop and takedowns, because again, there's every fighter's still going to have little doubts that are going to creep in. I'm sure Jack was going through that, being like, all right, worried about, what if he takes me down and all that. But the fact that he was able to stop it and feel so comfortable, I guarantee you he's leveled up again. His confidence in his takedowns has just went up significantly leading into this fight. I think his confidence is going to be at a whole nother level. So through camp, I guarantee you, if he's back in training right now, people trying to take him down are going to find it almost impossible. Only the top guys are going to have a chance of taking him down, and they're going to have a very hard time even holding holding him down.
Robert Whittaker also backed Jack Della Maddalena to beat Islam Makhachev at welterweight. He highlighted Jack's size, strength, and underrated jiu-jitsu, saying he is difficult to control and could disrupt Islam's wrestling. Whittaker also praised Jack's sharp boxing and body attacks, noting that targeting the body could drain Makhachev's energy and reduce the effectiveness of his takedowns.
Why does JDM beat Islam in your opinion?
I can see the fight playing out very much like it did with Volk, but Jack's bigger. He's got a different frame. He's a hard dude to try and hold down. I think his jiu-jitsu is very underrated. He has good jiu-jitsu.
Who give him?
Not to mention, Jack has really good hand. If he can works the body, which makes it harder to shoot on, to give Islam trouble.
Robert Whittaker further broke down the matchup, noting that Jack Della Maddalena's size and skill could pose problems for Islam Makhachev. He highlighted Jack's underrated grappling, saying he's tougher to control on the ground than most expect. Whittaker also pointed to Jack's striking, especially body shots and uppercuts, which could throw off Makhachev's timing and make takedowns more difficult, presenting a challenge Makhachev rarely encounters in the octagon.
I'm biased as heck.
Yeah, exactly.
So I can see the fight playing out very much like it did with Volk, okay? But Jack's bigger. Jack's a little, he's a little bigger. He's got a different frame. He's a hard dude to try and hold down. And I think his jiu-jitsu is very underrated. He has good jiu-jitsu, which means it won't be free. The takedowns won't be free. Being on top of him won't be free. Not to mention, Jack has really good hands, and if he can keep it into that mid-range, into that distance that he likes, make it awkward. He's very good at not only punching straight lines, but punching up. So his hooks, his uppercuts, he mixes it really well. He works the body, which makes it harder to shoot on. You know, I think there's enough angles there to give Islam trouble.
The MMA guru described the Islam versus Jack fight as a strategic battle early on, with Jack defending takedowns and striking precise strikes to maintain control. He predicted the momentum would shift when Islam adjusts mid-round, times a clinch perfectly, lands a damaging body knee, and applies relentless pressure to finish with a second-round TKO.
Who you got? Ilia Topuria, Islam.
I've got Makhachev.
I got Makhachev as well.
And I've got Makhachev second-round TKO with a knee in the
Oh, damn, you going bad rounds.
Yeah, I think he'll shoot a couple takedowns. Ilia will stuff it. Ilia will catch him a few times and people will go ooh and ah. And then when they clash again, I think Makhachev will go grab him. Ilia will think, oh, he's shooting again. Tie clinch bang, body, knee to the head. Ilia's all of a sudden stumble downhill from there. I think he beats Oliveira with a body shot though.
Lightweight fighter Gage Young said the fight is tough to predict. He acknowledged the challenge of moving from 155 to 170 due to the weight difference and called it a coin flip. Young leaned toward Maddalena, praising his ability to create unpredictable scrambles while noting Islam's traditional wrestling style might be less adaptable to that approach.
That's tough, man. Maddalena's real good, and I feel like the jump from 55 to 70 is a big jump, just with the weight discrepancy. I don't know. That's a tough one. That's a coin flip. I lean towards Maddalena on that one, but I could see Islam getting it done. But Maddalena's just got an ability to create weird scrambles, and Islam's got a real traditional wrestling style, and I think with Maddalena's grappling style, it's hard to prepare for. I think Maddalena's will get that one.
On the other hand, Jack Della Maddalena stated he's ready to defend his title against Islam Makhachev at UFC 322. He surprised some by saying Belal Muhammad is superior striking and predicted he could defeat Islam without much difficulty. Jack noted that Islam's traditional stance makes him more predictable, while still acknowledging him as the pound-for-pound number one.
I mean, it's just I think Islam Makhachev is a better version of Belal. I think his striking on the feet is I think it's more. I even think it's easier. The striking on the feet, I think it's easier than Belal because he's more just he'll stay in one stance. He's more traditional style. But yeah, he's the pound for pound number one. So it's a tough fight, but. Guess we'll just watch all these fights again, make a solid game plan, and then just start working at it. From pretty much now, I'm going to start working on ways to beat him, different ways to get back to my feet, stuff in the takedown, but I'm pretty confident I can get this one done.
Islam Makhachev's coach, Javier Mendez responded to Jack Della Maddalena's remarks, cautioning him against underestimating Islam Makhachev's striking. He noted that no fighter has ever found Islam easy to handle on the feet and warned that Jack would face a harsh reality if he thinks otherwise. Mendez emphasized that inside the cage, Islam's skills are far more formidable than they appear from the outside.
JDM did an interview just, I think, this week, and he broke down that he believes Islam's stand-up is a little bit easier to deal with than Bilal's, because Islam has more of a traditional style for his stand-up. Do you feel like people are kind of missing some of the X factors that Islam brings with his striking?
If he's saying that, I hope that he goes in believing that, because when he gets in there with Islam, you're going to find out a whole different story, because I'm sorry, they're completely different. And by no means is Islam an easy for anybody on the stand-up. No, any MMA fighter that's a striker, that's not going to have an easy time with him. I've been with this kid like going on 11 years of watching him just destroy everybody on the stand-up, guys that are much better stand-up than him, and he still destroys them. So no. Don't go by what you see. When you get in there with that man, it's a whole different ballgame.
Moreover, Belal Muhammad shared his thoughts on the potential matchup, predicting that Islam Makhachev would control Jack Della Maddalena through grappling and a methodical game plan. He praised Islam's consistency and discipline, noting these are areas he sometimes struggles with himself. Belal also reflected on his own fights, acknowledging that even when ahead of the scorecards, striking exchanges can be distracting, and every bout offers lessons in strategy and composure.
How do you think Islam versus JDM goes down?
Honestly, I think Islam will probably take it down. Like, Islam's wrestling really good. Like, even with me, I like really commit to it, I took it down. Their team's so good at like hacking in a game plan and sticking to it.
You said that you kind of abandoned the game plan a little. You think if you got a rematch, you would change the game plan a bit?
No, I mean, honestly, I think I won three rounds, but you have to go out there and make it more clear. When you get into the cage and you're fighting, right, you get into that, like, all right, I feel like striking, let's keep going. I was doing well with it, let's keep going. If your coach is trying to get you to focus on the game plan again, it's like, nah, man, I'm doing well with it. You're thinking you're doing better than you are. Every fight, you gain something from it, right? This fight, I gained something from it.
Belal Muhammad also mentioned the possibility of facing Islam Makhachev, but emphasized that his focus is on his next opponent. He acknowledged the importance of the belt, but stressed that winning his upcoming fight is his current priority before thinking about a title shot.
Belal, another question. So if Islam beats Jack in the box, would you fight Islam for the belt?
It's my belt, so for me, I got to work my next opponent. So after I get my next win, then I can talk about the belt.
What's your prediction for Islam and JDM?
I think it just comes down to if Islam can get it to the ground. If it gets it to the ground, I think Islam will be levels above him on the ground and could catch a submission, but you got to get it there first.
Stephen Thompson suggested that a fight against Jack Della Maddalena could be one of Islam Makhachev's biggest challenges. He said the matchup would test every part of Islam's game and predicted that fans would be excited to see how he handles such a dangerous, high-pressure opponent.
I think it's a good fight. I think it's a very tough fight for Islam Makhachev coming up. A bigger guy, a guy with great takedown defense, and a guy that's fought, who just won the title from somebody very similar to himself in Belal Muhammad, cardio for days, strong grappling background. I do believe that Islam has a better striking than than Belal does. So I think that would be interesting. But I think it's a very tough fight for Islam, for sure.
JDM's a monster. He
Yes.
proved it in the Belal fight.
Gilbert Burns also commented on Islam Makhachev moving to welterweight to face Jack Della Maddalena, supporting the move. He believes 170 pounds suits Islam better, given his past challenges with the lightweight cut. Burns recognized Islam as the #1 pound-for-pound fighter, but warned the fight could be closer than expected, noting Jack's experience training with elite fighters like Alexander Volkanovski and Craig Jones. He called it a highly competitive matchup, even without a full breakdown.
Islam's working very hard. He's been saying vocal that he wants to go up to 170. I think he's a big boy. He killed himself to make 55. I think that's the right division for Islam. He just tweeted something after the fight that he will not vacate the title, and then he vacated the title. I don't know, but probably that was in the negotiation. Yeah, I like him moving up. I proving himself. He's #1 pound for pound right now. It's a good fight. Jack and Islam closer than people think, especially with Jack Della Maddalena doing a lot of training with Volk, with Craig Jones, those guys that kind of back the Islam on that first Volk fight. I think they're going to have a lot of info, a lot of study, a lot of answers It's closer than people think, this fight. I really like this fight. I don't have time right now. I didn't have time to dig deep a little too much in that fight, but I think it's way closer than people think, and JDM has a clear shot.
On the other hand, Luke Rockhold described Islam Makhachev versus Jack Della Maddalena as a tough and exciting matchup. He named Islam, Topuria, and JDM among his current UFC favorites. While respecting Jack's wrestling, Rockhold felt Islam's lifelong grappling experience gave him the advantage. He also noted that JDM's size could pose a challenge depending on how Islam adapts to welterweight, adding that his own training experience with Islam made him curious to see how the size difference would affect the fight.
Do you see him beating JDM to win that welterweight title?
That's a tough fight. That's a very tough fight. It's going to be interesting. You know, I think those are my three favorite fighters in the UFC right now. We go Islam, Topuria, and JDM. JDM's he's fun to watch. So, I mean, that's going to be a great fight. You know, he's no slouch at wrestling, but you have a guy that's wrestled his whole life and grappled his whole life versus JDM, who's kind of like, he's secondary on that, but, you know, you never know. He's a bigger guy. So, you know, we'll see how Islam, how he bulks up and how he looks. He looks a lot bigger than what I remember. I used to train with him forever. So, I mean, he's definitely grown. You know, we'll see how he carries the weight.
So, that's all we have from today's video. We hope you enjoyed it. Let us know your thoughts and predictions about this fight in the comment section below. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more updates on this highly anticipated matchup.